Hey everyone, Ryan here, and I just want to take a moment starting your own podcast. I was a newbie, and still am, and know how intimidating it could be to start your own show. It's because of this, no matter all the other options out there, that I chose Anchor. So Anchor hosts your podcast, distributes your episodes to all the big hitters such as Spotify, Apple, and Google, and it even has recording tools to make a show on the spot without any additional software, and that's pretty sick. Not only that, but it gives you a nice little podcast website too, if you don't have one. Not to mention that there are opportunities to make money no matter the size of your audience. Sounds awesome and easy, right? It is. See for yourself. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, now let's get back to chatting about games, huh? Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Couch Cat Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. I've got Alan, Trung, and Ortiz in the co-host seats. What's up, guys? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hey guys, great to be back.
Hello.
I hate Alan because he's so delayed.
You like that?
I'm interested.
It's going back to the original.
No, I don't.
Going back to the original
I don't
intro.
like how you change. No, I don't like how you change all the time, and you're always off cue. And this is why I keep you out of the studio, and Trung's in the studio, and Ortiz is in the studio. All right.
That was so late. I was like, wait, is he gonna say something?
I was waiting too. I was like, oh shoot, did I do something wrong?
It sounded like I was
Yeah,
normal
you'd
at my
think it's
time.
his-
I think it's the glass in between us. It's delaying everything. Just let me back in.
Sure. Okay. You think he's like co-hosted before, right? But yeah. Thanks for being here, guys. Especially you, Ortiz. You're it's your first ever episode. You're a new guest to the show, but not new to Couch Cat. You've been in, YouTube videos. You've been in this server. I know you personally for like 6+ years.
More like 10 plus.
Yeah.
Damn.
Don't make me stare into the abyss, man.
Yeah.
But, glad that you're finally on the show. I know our good friend Del Vescovo has been waiting for it. So.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. But yeah, so we're here today to talk about Valheim, and that's a very important. It's a very popular indie game right now. But before we do that, does anyone have anything to share? Because I have something to share.
No one has anything to share.
I would ask you first.
Nothing at all.
Are you
Not
fucking
even you.
kidding me? No one else?
Let's skip these
I definitely do.
stories and go straight into the podcast. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my story.
Great.
Okay, it's actually not my story. I'm living through the story.
Okay.
So my fiance just did her taxes, and earlier this year, 2020. So early or later end of 2020, early 2021, she rolled over her 401k into a Roth IRA, right? And now she's getting, because the 401k, how it works, she's now getting taxed for that rollover, because Roth is pre and 401k is post. So she's getting taxed, dude, over $7,000 for that rollover.
Holy fuck.
God damn.
I know. So with that being said, will you guys please click our Amazon affiliate link that we just got approved for?
My god.
And our Green Man Gaming affiliation, baby.
Holy, what a shameless plug.
What a fucking pro. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that story. It's pretty awful. She's actually we're recording live in the Discord right now, and she's listening in because she wants to hear her own horror story again, but from me. But yeah, that's actually a pretty good segue. I also want to drop that we are Amazon affiliates, and we also got approved for a Green Man Gaming affiliate. So if you want to check that out, it's on the website, and you click some links, we get a kickback from it, and it's cool. You save money. But yeah, so does anyone have any stories before we get into Valheim? Now that that's off my chest.
Sounds like
I don't have a story, but
Hey, shut up, Alan.
so I don't
Go
have
ahead,
a
Trump.
story, but by the time this podcast comes out, there probably already is a YouTube video out for another Phasmophobia episode that I'm currently working on. So make sure you check that out too.
Damn, that is a professional co-host right there. That's another thing I want to touch on. Trung has decided, only for me though, not for Alan or Brandon, but only for me, to like edit YouTube videos, and so far he's been crushing it. They're super clean. They're hilarious. He captures us saying the dumbest stuff, and he puts cats over it. So you all know we play Phasmophobia like crazy. And if you've enjoyed our YouTube videos and you've noticed that they look a lot better, it's because of Trung right here.
Absolutely.
So thanks, Trung.
I would
they're
also
a lot
like
better.
to put in a request. If there are any artists out there that do feel like drawing kind of like cats in like different types of emotions and stuff, I can easily put them into the videos if you would like to, and we could also credit you if you so wish.
Damn, I wish I could pay Trung for how good he's like, for how good he does. But yeah, you know how to contact us. We'll talk about that more later at the end of the episode. Sick shout out Trung. You got anything, Ortiz?
Nope, nothing on my end.
Okay, cool. One more thing though. You'll notice this episode in the intro and outro, it's completely different. It's a original piece by our homie Orange Man, who you'll find in the Discord server. As you know, we've talked about him before. He plays the piano, and he'll play it while we play games like Valheim. And he also did a cool little piece that he allowed us to use, actually 2 different songs to use in our podcast prior and in our YouTube channel. But yeah, he made us a whole new track, and you'll be hearing it for the first time this episode. Let us know what you think. Stop by the Discord server and let Orange Man know what you think, because he is a boss. But anyway, let's get into it. We're here to talk about Valheim. It is on the PC. It's an indie game. It's survival, and it's an early access title. Heard of those before? Yeah, well, there's like 1,000 of them on Steam, but this one's completely different. This one is crazy popular, and it seems like it just happened overnight. So for those of you who don't know what Valheim is, which is still possible, this is straight from their Steam page, because I'm not going to summarize this game or ever. A brutal exploration and survival game for 1 to 10 players, set in a procedurally generated purgatory inspired by Viking culture. Battle, build, and conquer your way to a saga worthy of Odin's patronage. It's developed by Iron Gate AB. It's published by Coffee Stain Publishing. That's a cool name for a publishing company. I just want to say that. It's got over 5 million players right now. And I know this because they just posted an update about it. They've been making sure everyone knows their milestones that they're achieving. And yeah, this game just, I don't know, it just landed in my YouTube feed. I subscribe to Worth a Buy. He's a English dude who's hilarious with games, or game reviews, excuse me. And then I've seen other people play it. But yeah, Trung, you were mentioning earlier, you saw it from a streamer, right?
Correct.
Cool. And then Ortiz, were we the first ones to tell you about this?
Yeah, I didn't even know it existed.
Right. And then same with Alan. I kind of like imagine like Alan's DM, and I just kind of like busted through the door, and I was like, dude, we need to play this, I think.
Pretty accurate.
But yeah, so it's super popular. Early access. This game is gonna turn into something amazing. I don't think the devs can even run away at this point. I think they're in too thick or too deep. But yeah, let's just go over like the basics of the game. So Alan, if you could just generally describe this game in like a sentence, like what would you relate this game to?
I would say it's like a combination of Terraria and Minecraft. Minecraft where like you could build things and build tools and whatnot, and then like Terraria where there's like bosses to advance in the world. Mixed with Vikings, which is pretty freaking cool. I mean, I think a lot of people see those comparisons pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It is 3D. It's a 3D game, and I think I've actually said it before. It's like a 3D Terraria. And the fact that the bosses, unlock tiers or like, stages in the game. Like it is your progression. It's not as complicated as Terraria, where without Brandon's guide, like I said this last time, like without Brandon's guidance or Burnt Potato, who's another friend of Couch Cat, I wouldn't even know how to summon half the bosses besides the eye, right? Because you just get that random drop. But this is more straightforward with like sacrificial items that you drop at an altar, and then you get your ass slapped, depending on the boss. And we all just came off fresh of a boss fight like a night or two ago, which we'll talk more later. Um, so Trung, do you want to talk about the survival aspects of this game? Like what makes this a survival game?
Like any other survival game, you start off with nothing, then you slowly start gathering rocks, branches, and then you turn that into equipment for you to survive the world. Like there's monsters for you to fight. You can build your own house, build like a workshop to make higher tier equipment and so on and so forth. It's basically the stuff that people already know about from all the other survival games like Minecraft and Terraria, as you guys have pointed out. You just slowly progress, make a bigger house, a bigger station to build better stuff, and you survive like any other game.
Right. And to that credit, or to their credit, I think they do it pretty good. You won't die from not eating. You'll have, like a low base health and stamina pool because food is generally like buffs, right? Temporary buffs, but you won't ever die from starving. Um, you get debuffed from the weather. The only weather so far that hurts us is the winter biome, like the mountain biome or whatever. But you don't, you know, the survival aspect's not killing you. And another cool thing, I hate like tool and weapon durability, and this game has that, but the workstations allow you to repair it for free, and it also sounds like a fucking freight train's like slamming into your wall because when like Trung, Ortiz, and Alan like they're all repairing their shit, all you hear is and it's awful. I don't know why they picked that sound.
This is to make sure that you know that we're repairing,
Yeah. I definitely gotta say
but
the stamina system, the debuff and buff system is pretty enjoyable. Like I don't see very many games where like, the rain will cause your stamina to go down, or if like you're cold, your stamina will go down. I think that's pretty unique, at least to the games that I played, and it plays well into it.
yeah, there's definitely games out there, but they like beat you over the head with it. Where it gets to the point like it's hard to progress. Like fuck. I just played like Stranded Deep has debuffs like that, and Green Hell has debuffs like that. Uh, they're obviously like more hardcore, and they're not in the same genre as Valheim. They only share like the survival tag. But yeah, like in the more hardcore games, it exists, but something like Minecrafty, not really. So yeah, I think it's cool.
I was gonna say to elaborate on that, yeah, the debuffs and stuff are not annoying, right? Like I never feel annoyed whenever I get like cold or whatever it's raining on me. So that's also a really good aspect of that game where it doesn't feel like it's weighing on you too much where it affects your gameplay all completely. It just feels more like immersive where if you're cold, you can't run for as long and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, we just had Ortiz, on our way to the second boss fight, running around naked in the rain at night, and nothing could stop this man.
Well, yeah, the clothes weigh you down, so.
and the worst part is Ortiz is trying to get all of us to do it, and Alan, I believed him. Like I believed you, Ortiz, when you were
too.
like, take your clothes off, you can run faster.
I did too.
It's true because I had the iron clothes, and they do make you slower. Or no, I have the I don't know. I have the low end metal clothes, and it does make you slower. But you have the troll clothes, so I guess it doesn't affect you. But why
club.
not run naked?
Well, we did. It was a journey, and we'll talk about it. But
this is a note.
Yeah.
I didn't take my clothes off like these guys because I'm not stupid.
That's true. Trung just ignored it completely. That's usually a good sign. Like if you see Trung doing something, you should mimic it. All three of us did not, and so it was quite hilarious on stream. But yeah, Ortiz, I don't really know if you play a lot of like indie survival buildy, with the little like vanilla combat games in general, but I'm gonna ask you about the combat, like because you've slayed some bodies with us, and what do you like? How do you feel about it?
I'm saying I like it. It kind of sucks that there's like, your weapon has durability, but it's not that
Yeah,
bad. Although I don't like the once you're like swinging in the motions, you kind of can't stop the action sometimes, so you're just wasting like adrenaline to like, swing at the air because the thing moved over a little bit to the left or whatever. I kind of don't like that.
yeah. You find that in a lot of like hardcore fighting games. Like I think even Neo and Dark Souls, like every swing is it costs stamina, so it's very calculated, and you don't want to miss like your heavy attack and stuff like that. So I think this game pulls from that direction, and I think it does okay. I mean, sometimes I the hitboxes are a little weird because if we're all mobbing on one enemy,
Yeah.
and then we just start, we just hit each other, and we get EXP for that, but we're not actually hurting the enemy, and we're losing durability. So I think some things are wonky and can be ironed out. So like the hitboxes and maybe the attack animations are too sluggish for some items. Like the two-hander, I'm not going to even mention because that's what it is. It's a heavy ass weapon that you know damages the ground, but some things kind of feel weird. I will say, like, ever since I followed Trung into like wielding a sword, combat's been a lot better. I think it's cool, or at least good enough. Like, it wasn't ignored in a like most survival games do, right? Like the combat's not even the main focal point of the game. But this is like an adventure exploration game at its soul, so or at its core. So I think they do a good job.
I, I think like
And then, oh
more than half of
yeah,
our
go ahead.
our comms is like, oh, I'm out of stamina. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Like, and we have to just run away. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Like, it's like our biggest
Yeah,
comms.
food's super important. Yeah, because yeah, we will get effed in combat without
Yeah,
stamina.
let me just stab the ground and my
Um,
fellow partners and waste my stamina and then let them get beat as I run away.
yeah, and then just kind of like zip through the rest. We mentioned earlier, there's different, or actually Ortiz talked about his armor. Um, there's different tiers in the game, and generally like the areas of the boss, like they hold like the different resources to progress, or like even the drops from the boss. So yeah, your basic cloth stuff all the way into iron and more. More advanced armor sets, more advanced armor, or I mean, excuse me, weapons, and like crafting tools or crafting stations to unlock. So the tiers are pretty expansive for what it is, and which ties into like the boss fights. We talked about earlier. They're actual fights. The boss NPCs have their own like moves, like they have their own mechanics. So it's not just like you spawn it from an altar and it just stands there and does one. They all do the same attack. Uh, they have some unique characteristics, which is cool and which we all saw and we'll talk about. And then the game, everyone would agree here, you know, like I just said, is an exploration game at heart, and that ties a lot into it, like finding, your way to these boss altars or to new resources, like navigating the map. It's massive, and it's tedious at times, especially with like on land, because we don't have horses or anything. I don't know if mounts are going to be a thing, but it's a massive exploration game. And that's what kind of like ties in, all of our stories tie in, like feedback into that, because we've done a lot of exploring together in on separate servers, because this game you can do peer to peer, and you can also have dedicated servers, and it's allowed a lot of versatility with how we played with each other. But yeah, before we get into the most recent stuff, Alan, you want to talk about spawning in the dark together and trying to like set up a cabin by the water?
Yeah, I remember like we
It
were
was
just
pretty
like
spooky.
exploring, trying to find a good place by the water. That was not a fun time. At least we found a lot of flint, that's for sure. We are like, oh, look at all this flint. Like, this is so nice. This place is so great. Look at all this stuff. And then the gray dwarfs came. And that was not fun. That was, yeah, I got one shot and died instantly. as we were running away. Dude, they chased us like forever.
Yeah, we didn't have a good time. So we wanted to go by the water because we all saw videos and we're like, dude, there's boats. Like, we need to be by the water. Like,
Yeah.
that's like half the game. It's Assassin's Creed, Black Flag. And so we made our way to like a clearing, and we noticed we saw like the Black Forest, and the Black Forest is a pretty scary place. Um, we actually we didn't go back in there until
No, we
Trung
didn't.
like hopped
Yeah.
on, and so did Ortiz. Like, they had to like we all had to go in together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we decided to like build up this little cabin. It's our now storage hut, or one of them. And we actually cut through the Black Forest, like building it. And like Alan said, like the fucking leash on these things was forever. And the leash is when the AI is like targeting a specific player and they don't back off, like they trail the player. And gray dwarfs are one of like the basic enemies in the game, and it literally like two-shotted Alan because we're both like two little naked like dudes running around with clubs, and that was a quick story, like a quick first experience. And we were wet and we were cold and we didn't know if we would die or not. But yeah, it was kind of like a shock playing this game. Like, oh, this is how it's gonna be.
It's not
You
very
get dropped
forgiving.
by a giant bird. Yeah, you get dropped and then you get smacked. But yeah, so after that, like, we got Trung and Ortiz on board, uh, and we wanted to expand the compound. So Trung, you want to talk about like you coming into our server, and this is like the first like survival, like combat-y game that we've actually played together in a long time.
Yeah.
And so come on and tell us your story, dude.
Story? Well, it was a dark and stormy night. No. I just saw these guys sitting in Discord and playing it after watching a streamer play it, as we mentioned before. And I was really contemplating whether to pick it up or not, but I was like, it's probably fun if I play with more people, right? So I hopped on, didn't know what the heck was going on, didn't know where anybody was. So I'm just running around naked, just gathering rocks and stuff. But I did, because of watching the stream, I kind of figured out a few of the things that I could do, like how to make weapons and how to fight in general.
Yeah.
Things like that. So it was a fun experience playing with everybody, exploring the Black Forest as we talked.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
we had
that's
to,
on YouTube, right? Our first troll fight.
yes,
It's on our YouTube channel. It's like 4 minutes long, and it was pretty hectic.
and we had to upgrade the house because that tiny little hut wasn't going to hold all 4 of us in there. So
We couldn't share one bed forever.
Nope.
Yeah, and the funny thing is when like Trung and Ortiz, which I'll have him talk about him joining us, like when they joined, we didn't even know you had to turn on your location in the map, right? So we were all just like, where are you? Like, I'm over here. What's over here? So that was pretty funny. Tooltip, like press that option in the map because it's very useful. And I don't even think you have to refresh it every time. I think it saves your choice now. Because I didn't have to change it the last 2 times we played. Yeah, but Ortiz, you came in hot. You've been playing a lot of games with us recently. What's your first impression on Valheim and just playing with us in general?
I basically thought it was like super upgraded Minecraft because it just looks so much better. But basically, it's the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Like you guys said already, just gather a bunch, resource gathering, crafting, stuff like that. Yeah, I basically same thing for me. I guess I just jumped in with you guys and didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I was just chopping down wood so you could build that
Dude,
big house.
you gave me so much wood. Like, not even just in the morning too. Like, you gave me so much.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how to play this. I didn't watch any YouTube videos like Trung. I just chopped down wood, gave you that, and dandelions because I kept collecting those and I didn't know why.
That's like the bane of my existence. Like, we keep throwing dandelions at each other because we keep screaming like, why is dandelions in my inventory? And inventory space in this game, Kim, is like it's not atrocious, but the weight system is awful. So if you find yourself with like 100 stones in your inventory, you're fucked. But yeah, the dandelions for like some reason trigger all of us. Like we cannot stand that in our inventory at all. So Ortiz would come by, as he mentioned, when we were expanding the compound. We built this huge ass building because that's like what everyone really does in this game. And he kept throwing dandelions at me. I couldn't fucking handle it. Between like the roof collapsing on me and then the dandelions, I think it was like a breaking point. But yeah, so everyone was kind of feeding, like in the beginning, doing their own thing, like massively. Like Ortiz, you became like the master hunter. Like you had so much deer meat. Like and your archery level was crazy too.
Dude, that's just because I'm like the best archer in the video game, not in real life, just the video game. I don't. Every time I go into my server, my friend's server, or your server, I'm always taking my arrow out, my bow out, and I'm shooting anything, especially if it's moving, just to see if I can hit it. And most of the time, I do.
Yeah, do you strike or you shot that dude in the face on the coast while we were in a boat, and you killed it. So yeah, you're pretty nuts. But in the beginning, that's how like it just kind of like folded. Like Trung made a farm that I ruined. With the with the leveling tool.
Yeah.
But like Trung was working on farming and like the layout. I was building this huge freaking building and Ortiz was throwing wood at me. And Alan, what the heck were you even doing, dude? I can't even remember.
I was just living a good life.
Okay, Alan was doing nothing. So we built this huge thing.
And hunting deer in the beginning.
Like you're just like living off the land.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Role playing in Valheim. So we got all that spun up and things were looking good. Things were looking like respectable, so to speak. And then I think before everyone came on, actually, Alan and I killed the first boss.
Yeah.
And we had enough to respawn it, right? Because you can spawn them as long as you have the items that they require. So that's kind of like how we introduced Trung and Ortiz to the game. We brought them to the first boss, and like they're like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" And then we drop, we spawned the deer. It's a deer, by the way, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's this?" And then it started smacking everyone with lightning. So
yeah,
but everything was fine because I had a shield.
Oh, dude. Trung was so obsessed with like the shield. He was like, I got this. And he would just stand there.
Yeah, I gotta tank everything, you know?
And Ortiz just like running around. He's like, my bow's broken.
But yeah, it's actually, so I thought my bow was broken, but I think it was just my stamina was running out. But I didn't know that back then because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. But that's all you would say though. You're just like, my bow's broken. I have no options. It was funny. It was a good first boss fight. And from there we kind of hit the ground running. Trung was very ballsy and he kept making us go to the Black Forest. But like Trung and Ortiz, you guys were playing on different, either a solo world or different servers. So you had insight and you knew like that was the way to progression, right? Like we had to do that stuff.
Oh, yeah. You got to go keep progressing through the different biomes that they send you to so you can get better gear and stuff like that. Right.
And in those biomes, one of the first big monsters we fought was a troll. It's almost like Attack on Titan. Like I've seen it as a meme. And I've made that joke countless times. But like, yeah, it's like Attack on Titan. These big humanoid things in the jungle or in the forest, and they smack you. So I know that was like our first like natural progression forward was just hunting trolls for like the capes because their armor is pretty good for in the beginning, right? Like the full set.
Yeah, it's actually what you want to wear before you start wearing bronze. But even just wearing the troll armor is already good alone on its own.
Yeah, and it's taken us forever to get bronze. I still don't even have like a piece of quote unquote like armor, right? I think me and Alan are still rocking cloth.
Yep, all the way.
Yeah, all the way, dude. We take massive damage when we get hit.
Just don't get hit. It's that easy.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so like we went into the Black Forest, we killed trolls, we cleared dungeons. Like there are like mini dungeons, and they're usually filled with skeletons. And like what is that item? The core? Like it's like core something.
Something like Sepulchre's score or something. A core. Or
Yes.
something?
Core.
Stuberous.
Yeah, smoldering maybe. No one knows. No one effing knows. But you need it for like certain crafting stuff, right?
You need to start
or-
the forge and the
Smelter.
smelter. Yeah.
Okay. And what do we need for the portal though? Do we need it for the portal?
Yes, you need 2 of them to make a portal.
Okay, and that's another part of this game. The traveling's atrocious, but you can build portals that don't allow you to bring ore back with you, but you can at least hop back and forth. So these dungeons are like vital. Like you don't want to ignore them. You'll get good loot and you'll get necessary resources to upgrade. But yeah, it was kind of like our natural progression is just hunting, killing, whatever, expanding the base, and then from the server hopping, Trung brought the longboat. Like Ortiz had a raft, but then we got the longboat and things changed for the better, kinda, because the wind sucks. But yeah, Trung, you had this amazing idea of going to like like the swamp, right? Like what was that about? Like now we're in a spooky place because of you.
Well, that's what the second boss is, right? So we had to naturally progress by taking a boat to the next island. But because, not everybody has the same schedule, so Ortiz and I have progressed a little bit further than the rest of us. So we kind of knew what the next destination was and all that stuff. So
yeah, except the second boss wasn't in the swamp.
Oh no, but the next biome would be the swamp. That's where the third boss is.
It was spooky, man. Like, so imagine this: we're on a boat, Ortiz and Trung and I. It's taken us 5 years to get to like another island because the wind's against us. We have Orange Man playing piano because it's very dramatic. The seasons are changing as we're floating along, and then we come up to this like dark ass heck biome with like zombies walking around. There's what are they guys? Like the things in the water. Yeah, leeches, like nasty ass leeches they're like bigger than all of us combined, like trying to eat our boat. Everything's trying to eat our boat.
Blobs.
Blobs that like killed us. When we had to teleport back.
Poison.
Yeah, me and Ortiz are like, we're dying, and then we just died.
But it's okay, we made a portal so you guys could get back and get your stuff.
Yeah, it was all so Trung led us to like the most awful place possible for newbies. And I still think about that. And
well, it's like when you guys summoned the first boss on me and I was still new.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's pretty fair. Yeah, Alan had a lot of time to think about that before we did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alan, you saw the swamp, right? Like we went through the portal and it was pretty spooky.
Yeah, for like 5 seconds. Hopped on the boat and ran away.
Yeah, we were like, nope. And then a couple days would pass from that, and we had to bring the boat back. Like Ortiz and Alan and I spawned because the longboat was over in the swamp, so we were at the swamp just to bring the boat back, and that took forever.
God, that was such a long journey. The wind was never with us.
Dude, it's bad. And to be fair, we're only on the second tier boat, but it is so. It's almost enough to make you just be like, I'm just gonna log out in the middle of the ocean right now. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
But that was like the mark of the journey to the second boss. Like we've had some crazy stuff happen to us here and there. Like Trung, Alan, and I were exploring, and there's like troll in a cave, and then me and Alan got smoked in the cave, and we had to make it past the troll in this tight position to get our stuff back. Like that was hell. But that was on the way, but the second boss was our biggest journey yet. And it's beyond, like it's like northwest of us, right guys? Like I would say pretty far. And we had to go around the winter biome or the mountain biome where you take damage from the weather, and we were running naked. because Ortiz's instructions. So we learned real quick not to do that and to skirt around it, and luckily we could. There's just a natural progression or like a natural way around it. And then Trung, Trung the whole time is like, "We're going to need a boat. We're going to need a boat." And me and Alan are just like, la 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 la, like like skipping to the destination. And and so we get to a point like Trung and Ortiz are like messing around behind us, and Alan's just following me blindly. And we get to like Trunk's still saying we need a boat, but then we get to this like channel, and I'm like, I can fucking make this. And Alan, you're like saying no,
I didn't
right? Like
believe
you're
you
like,
at all.
please don't.
Didn't believe you at all.
Yeah, and I was like, screw this, we're going in. And there's like, it's broken, okay? It's this is definitely taking advantage of the game's like early access, but rocks were protruding slightly out of the water, and if your character like swims up to it and like kind of just hovers like on its edge, you recover your stamina back. It doesn't switch to you like walking. You just float there and you recover stamina, even though you're not completely on the rock. So we rock hopped, so to speak, and we made it.
We should also mention that swimming in this game requires stamina, and if you run out of stamina, you slowly start bleeding until you drown.
Yeah, swimming in this game will kill you. But yeah, we made it. Like it was the scariest thing I think we've done, like to ourselves, and we made it across. No one believed me and Alan until a troll started smacking us on the other side of the channel. So
Yeah,
that
that
happened. And
was perfect.
We got
Survived the water.
Yeah. As soon as we came out, like the scariest thing that we thought we'd face out there, and then this troll is like on the edge and just comes and smashes trees all around us, and we're screaming. I think Alan didn't even put his armor on yet, and Trung, you're like constantly like like
Nope.
what's going on over there?
Yeah, because me and Ortiz was still on the other island that you guys swam across from, so we're still
Yeah.
stuck behind. Like, what the heck is going on over there?
Yeah, so we're
It's-
getting chased, we're getting bamboozled by a troll. But eventually we all kill it, and man, we had to go to like the northwesternmost point to get to that boss. Like we are super far away from what we call quote unquote home. And like when we show up, like do you guys remember like it starts to like rain in game, and rain in this game is very dramatic. It's very loud and thick. So
I think
like
it was more than just rain. I think it was a
Yeah.
storm because he was causing us to be cold
Yeah, it
too.
was like almost like a hurricane. That's what it felt like.
yeah, we we had like the whole environmental debuff going on. But we made it. It's like a giant altar, excuse me, and then we decided to build a workbench with some. Well, we didn't even get the beds down yet, but we built like a mini hut right next to the altar that didn't get destroyed, by the way. I remember you, Trung. You're like, this is so dead. Like this is such a waste of time.
I'm really
'Cause-
surprised they survived, to be honest.
Because Ortiz and I, we started building it like literally right by the boss spawn. Like, so funny. Like Ortiz, you're so confident in that placement.
Oh, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be just fine. It's gonna be all right. We got bunk beds in there,
And
ready for a sleepover.
he was right though. It was fine. So we prepped for the boss, and it was funny because Trung, the whole time you're like, it's a waste of time. Like by the time you're done, the weather's going to stop. And sure as shit, it took us like 15 minutes to build this thing, and the weather stopped. So then we were all just soaking wet, crowding around by the fire, and then we could finally fight this thing before Alan got off. So
Yeah, I
um,
thought for sure
I don't know.
that we wouldn't make the boss by the time I needed to get off for work. I was just like, yep, it's gonna be another day for this boss. Another day.
another week
Yeah.
where everyone else in this like community is like on like the end boss or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they beat the game and we're still on boss 2.
We're just taking our time,
but
enjoying the
yeah,
scenery.
we made it. It took us like 40 minutes to get up there, I think. Like 30 to 40.
Pretty sure it took us longer to travel there than it was to kill the actual boss.
Yeah, for
Oh yeah.
sure. Um, and and so we spawn this boss, and it's a tree, and it shoots like giant like tree vines, and has like a mini AOE at its base if you get close because Trung was up there trying to tank it. Um, but yeah, generally we were all using bow and arrow, right? In the
Yeah.
beginning, like Ortiz loves his fire arrows.
Oh, I actually had some
Um,
poison arrows with me that I got from another.
oh really?
Yeah, but yeah, I ran out eventually, and I had to
Dude,
use fire arrows.
yeah, yeah. My bow broke. Because I have such a shitty bow. Like my bow broke on me, so I was forced to like finish it off with Trung. But that battle was cool. Like the tree, like if you get close, it repels you, and if you stay in one spot, it targets you and shoots like these massive vines at you in succession or um like what in sequence, right? So you need to constantly be moving. You don't want to get close. You want to like burn all your arrows, like all your range stuff. Um, and it can chunk you. Like Alan, you almost died, didn't you?
Yeah. I wasn't able to dodge one of the times, and it freaking wrecked me. And I thought I was going to have to travel forever again to get my gear back.
Because we didn't build a portal.
Oh yeah, we weren't prepared to build a portal. That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trung was like, "Did you guys bring the core?" And all three of us were like, "No."
Yeah, so the next time we log in, we'd have to make that giant journey back to our home base again.
Yeah, we all logged off in the cabin or shed, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, the boss fight was fun. I almost died. I was kind of sweating a little bit. Trung and Ortiz were fine, of course. They're tiers ahead of us. They know what they're doing. But overall, it was a cool journey. Like only in this game can you be immersed enough to like go through these different biomes, and not quit. At least to the boss. Like
Yeah.
it was a bona fide adventure. And I think that's why we all play it. Like you know, just to have that experience together. And the mechanics don't suck. Like it's not some watered down Minecraft, right? Where you're just gonna like spam your mouse button with your like pickaxe, and then call it a day. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole like process. Besides traveling, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't like the travel part. Like there better be horses, dude. There better be something that I can ride in the future because this is gonna kill me. Like it's like a dark cloud over my head. Like thinking back thinking about logging back in with all of you and having to walk like 20 miles back.
Well, we still have that boat, so hopefully the wind can be
That's
with
true.
us.
It never is.
Well, as long as these guys don't log in and then just leave us there with the boat,
Oh yeah.
because if they log in and then they leave, we're stuck there and we're gonna be
That's a good
stranded.
idea, Alan. You're busy.
No,
after
it sounds like a
this?
great idea.
You busy? You busy after this episode, brother? Set ourselves offline on Steam and go fucking. It was a good time. The game's a good time. Um, Generally, we do like some like what we think, good or bad. I'll start with you, Alan. What's your biggest takeaway in a positive light, and then in a negative?
Positive is just how immersed you get into the game. Like you keep saying, like, it's just like it's fun, and you really get immersed into it, and you could lose a lot of time into it. I know like a lot of people out in the community like, who are just builders, and they just get lost in building and don't even advance in the story itself.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. The negative, mm, I don't know. Yeah, travel. Yeah, I mean that's like my negative is getting in a boat and the wind is against you, and there's nothing to do but sit there as the person's driving the boat. Just like, oh, great. But we spent that whole entire one game session just trying to get back to our home base. That was fun.
Yeah, we were huddled up with torches in the boat.
Yeah, it's like, perfect.
So Trung, same thing. Like something good, something bad. What do you think?
I actually feel the opposite. I really like the traveling in this game. It's very fun. Like the boat riding.
Okay,
and
you're
stuff.
canceled. Next.
Well, I mean, trekking on land sucks. Like, it really, really does. It feels really sluggish. The combat is great. The combat is very Dark Souls and Monster Hunter style combat.
Mm-hmm.
So every swing of your weapon is very deliberate. But also the negative side of it is that the weapon variations don't have too many skills. Like, every weapon does have a special button to press, but I'm pretty sure somebody else mentioned it when we were talking. They want it so that when we level up our skills for like the specific aspect of the weapon, like level 10 sword, you get a new skill for your sword instead of just the stabbing move.
Same stab, yeah.
Yeah, like that would be interesting, but the game is still very early access. It's very new. So we'll see what it has in store for the future.
Yeah, it's got a roadmap that everyone can check out on their Steam page. It's got, I wouldn't say like a very dreamy. I'd say a very realistic approach. Just vague details. Like, I don't like, they'll just name like the update, but they won't say what's included. But yeah, to end this thing, Ortiz, give me something good, give me something bad, give me a piece of pie.
I don't know. I agree. I like the traveling on by boat. I like that they put teleporters. I like how Alan said you get lost in it because I like just building stuff and like collecting things so I can just build more stuff without progressing. I don't know what else I like, but what I don't like is something I had in my head and then I forgot right now. So yeah.
Wow, dude.
I hate that too.
Thanks for like being prepared. I'll answer for you, dude. Okay, it's traveling. Even though you like traveling, you hate it more. All right. Well, that's all I got. That's all everyone else has. Thanks for stopping by the studio, Alan, Trung, and of course Ortiz. Thanks for coming onto the show for the very first time. Hopefully not the last. I'll have to clear things with Trung and see if we can allow you back on because there's very limited room in here.
I'm just an editor, dude. What?
Thanks.
But yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. And thanks to all of you for listening, both in the Discord server and those of you who will be listening to this when it goes live on Anchor and Spotify and everywhere else you listen to podcasts. We have a huge distribution list. And that being said, we, all of our social media links, including our website, which is www.couchcatgaming.com, are included in the podcast description. So check out all of them: Instagram, Twitter, Discord server, YouTube channel. Like Trung said, we have some awesome videos on there now because my videos were very long, but we have some awesome.
Fine.
Well, thank you. We have some awesome, funny content on there. We're gonna have a new video out. More new stuff coming your way. Yeah. Also, check out those Green Man Gaming links, the Amazon links. Every bit helps, dude. Like, it really does. It's really. I don't know how else I'm going to pay, for all this dog food for Alan, because I don't want to have to start getting him real food. Okay, like, please don't hold that over my head. He needs some kibble.
I can go find a better place.
He's getting hungry.
Okay? Thank you. Just need the warmth of the studio. That's all.
But yeah.
I also want to get paid in ramen.
Oh, that's actually I like that idea.
No, let's not start this. Okay, no. Next. But yeah, that's all the stuff. Also, please give a listen to the intro and outro to its fullest. Orange Man did an awesome job. Just saying that once again. Give him a shout out on the Discord server. He would greatly appreciate it. He did it for free. He is a cool dude. And he's in uni because he's in Australia and they call it uni, not college. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys. That's all I got for you girls. That's all I got for you listeners. See you in the next one. Peace.
Bye.
Later.